Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, immediately she got in yesterday, she started calling Akpabio names again. Some people said this woman said he's too stubborn. Instead of you to just relax after 6 months of suspension, come back and make peace. Go on your normal level, normal work, normal duties and the National Assembly. Why are you coming back again saying no retreat, no surrender? Akpabio is this, Akpabio is that. While others are saying, yes, she has the right. She has the right to say anything. The leadership of the Senate is saying she still has to apologize. And she's saying, Shuke, me apologize to who? I will not apologize to anyone. Meaning, the troubles are still there. So what do you make this evening? I'll be asking you, that's the 2-in-1 contribution I want to hear from you this evening. What do you think should be the best way to solve all of this? Should Akpoti-Uduaghan just forget about all of these things and move on a normal level like a woman should? Or she should keep fighting on? And some people are pushing her to fight on. So we're going to all of this evening on Politics of Melody 100.7 FIB. Once again, my name is Richie, and here we go again. Let's begin first with the latest political happenings in and around us this beautiful evening. Okay, let's go now. Let's bring you political happenings all around us at this time. Now, the Rivers State chapter of the All Progressive Congress, APC, has urged the federal government under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to take a tough stance on the 2023 presidential candidate of the AAC, talking about Omoyele Sowore, over his recent attacks on President Bola Tinubu and the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. The factional state chairman of the party, Peter Tony Okocha, made a call in a statement today urging Nigerians to stand up against people he described as rascal and nitwit. That's the way he called them, describing them in quote now, desiring to rob the integrity of the country in the mud. Okocha said that spreading false news with clear indication and intention to overreach or defame the other's character or according to him, attempting to incite Nigerians against the government is treasonable felony, adding that any action which is capable of undermining public trust and putting expensive houses in Florida, United States of America. Now, reacting to the allegations, Okocha said, in every democracy, criticism is weapons of a country can refer to the highest office in the land as a criminal. Still talking about political stories, some members of the APC in Ekiti State have petitioned the party's governorship screening committee, urging it to disqualify an aspirant, Engineer Kayode Ojo, from the forthcoming primaries. Addressing newsmen in Ado Ekiti today, just a while ago before I came into the studio, Mr. Jogunwola Joel Folani of Ayetoro Ward 2 Idosi local government, and Mr. Alake Basui of Aishebu Ward 8, Ayekire Ogbonya local government, and Mr. Tiayo Ogulusi from Irekpodun said they were speaking on behalf of over 50 concerned party members who jointly signed and endorsed the petition. Now, the petitioners alleged that Ojo's nomination form contained several irregularities according to a review by their lawyers. Out of the 122 names listed as nominators, 66 were not valid APC members in Ekiti State. Only 54 valid nominators were confirmed, falling short of the required 80, the petitioner said. According to them, Ojo failed to meet the mandatory spread of at least 5 nominators from each local government as stipulated in the party's guidelines. And despite the alleged lapses, they said Ojo declared full compliance, which they described as deceitful and misleading. to the call on the screening committee to uphold the party's constitution and guidelines by ensuring that only aspirants who meet all requirements are cleared. Another political wranglings in Ekiti State. Wahala. Now, an All Progressive Congress APC chieftain and legal practitioner Eze Chikam Nayo has petitioned the United States, United Kingdom, and France, among others, to place visa restriction on Abia State Governor Alex Otti and his administration until his administration shows evidence of 54 billion naira spent for the renovation of public schools in the state. He also petitioned other countries and, of course, international bodies, including Germany, China, Australia, Canada, Britain, Switzerland, the European Union, and the African Union. Of course, a while ago, Eze Chikam Nayo had a press conference because he is also the convener of the Abia Best Interest Association, and he said the governor and his officials who, instead of providing an empirical evidence of the 51 smart school for which 54 billion naira was spent from the state coffers in the last quarter of 2024, resorted to diversionary antics. According to Eze Chikam Nayo, the Abia Universal Basic Education Board (ASUBEB) classroom projects being executed with federal government counterpart funding are not the same as the smart school project of the Abia state government. Eze Chikam Nayo said failure or refusal to publish the list, location, contractors, and pictures of the purported smart public school project for which over 78 billion naira has now been spent between the second quarter of 2023 and the third quarter of 2025 is a clear indication of systemic corruption, impunity, lack of transparency, and accountability in governance. That's what Eze Chikam Nayo said. You will definitely get to hear from him when we get it to the other side, because Eze Chikam Nayo is still talking. And he has continued to tell the governor, prove us wrong. Publish these things. And the governor said, publish what? You cannot tell me to do what I don't want to do. I will not publish anything. Eze Chikam Nayo holding the governor there by the jugular. Okay now. All right, the All Progressive Congress APC in Lagos State has described the statement by the African Democratic Congress ADC that President Bola Tinubu will be a one-time president as laughable. A Lagos APC spokesman Seyi Oladejo, who made the remark today, said ADC, which he described as an association of Syria defectors, is already on political life support and will soon fizzle out into oblivion. We'll get to that as well. You know, we're just getting started. We'll get to all of these stories here and there. Okay. Let's go to Rivers State now, where the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State has described Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State in inspiration to the party. Chief Bakita Bello, PDP caretaker chairman in the state, in a statement today, Kure welcomed Fubara back to office after a political distraction meant to derail the will of the people. According to him, the mandate given to the governor by the people of Rivers cannot be taken. Now, former Kogi West Senator Dino Melaye, a while ago, issued a warning to the state governor, Ahmed Ododo. What is bringing this one? What is bringing warning from Dino Melaye to the governor of the state? Melaye charged Ododo to call his appointees to order over attacks on the offices of the African Democratic Congress ADC in the state. The former lawmaker warned that any further attacks will be matched with superior response. Okay now, voila. Okay, all about 2027. Now, a chieftain of the APC in Delta State, Victor Oba, says there are numerous reasons why the people of South-South geopolitical zone should support the second-term bid of the President Bola Tinubu. It doubles as the President Movement for National Transformation, MNT, said Tinubu's administration had introduced bold economic reforms and massive infrastructural projects, especially in the south-south, including the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. Ogba said that the courage in dismantling economic distortions must have been matched by creativity and compassion in building a socially inclusive recovery. Let's just leave it there. So many political happenings at this time. Well, let's leave it there. Those are the happenings around us right about now. Okay, let's get into it now. Let's get into it. Yesterday, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan formally came back to the Senate. First thing that happened was her office, because for 6 months now, her office had been under lock and key. So in the morning, our office door, in fact, I was one of those that actually broke the news when the office was locked in Abuja. I mean, if you follow me on socials, you would have seen when I posted it early yesterday morning when it was being opened. Of course, after that, so many other things happened, and Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan came back to the Senate. And of course, with pomp and pageantry as always, with our supporters coming with her. And of course, noise everywhere in Abuja. First of all, I mean, at a point, they didn't want her to gain her entrance. But you know, Natasha and her crew, they made sure they gained access, and she went into her office. Of course, getting into her office, she spoke with us there. What did she tell us? You will definitely get to hear it very shortly. But this was how she came back to Abuja yesterday.
Hey, my guy, don't play for that.
The noise you hear there, the noise of the supporters when they finally gain entrance into the National League. So when she got in, when they got in, because she got with plenty of our supporters, they went with her. She didn't go alone. Immediately the gate finally was open for them. That was the noise you heard there. That was everything you heard. Of course, saying they were happy and they started chanting. So after she got into the office, trust her, she would.
Happened to be the of Nigerians from the unjust suspension to the recall. We survived the recall. We survived the blockage of roads and waterways into Kogi that we had to fly in through using the helicopter. We survived the blackmail of the so-called woman from the crazy lady on Facebook. Yeah, you know, it's amazing what we had to survive. And I give God Almighty the glory and my deepest appreciation to the good people of Kogi Central, Kogi State, and Nigeria at large. My husband, my love, if you say this, I love you dearly. In short, I pray all men support their wives as much as you have supported me. And my children, thank you for your sacrifices. So in everything, it just shows that sometimes it's good to put the institutions to test. We can't cow down in the face of injustice. No one is more Nigerian than us. Senator Akpabio is not more of a senator than I am. He's not a governor of this place. And he treated me as if I was his servant or I was a domestic staff in his house. It's very unfortunate that at this time, after so many years of democracy, we would have a National Assembly be run by such dictatorship. It's totally unacceptable. As for me, I'm glad to be here. And even though we have been illegally suspended, no day have I hesitated in effectively carrying out my duties as a senator of Kogi Central to the very best of my capacity. I have never, no day went by without me looking out for opportunities, either in terms of bringing infrastructure or projects to my people, and even jobs wherever I could, because I didn't want them to suffer, the neglect and the vacuum that was created by this injustice. So I thank people like Auntie Obi, Kwesili, Sister Aisha, Mama P, Peter The Rock, and many others, Dr. Abiola, Yemi of Enough is Enough, Uncle Femi Falana, men and Nigerians I can't even call. I've read your posts, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency Sarah. Political parties, Labour Party, ADC, I saw their statements, and my beloved PDP. Thank you so much for standing up. Nigerian Bar Association, Nigeria Labour Congress. A whole lot of voices. It just pulled through, and I think that's the pressure that the Senate President saw and realized that, he just can't keep pushing against the will of the people. Yeah, the media. Thank you for being fair. Thank you. Even though at the time I did observe 3 months ago there was some silence, like
You thank everyone, including us, the media. Yes. That's what happened yesterday morning in Abuja. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and we were all there represented. Of course, got that inside in our office. Yeah, we're out there in our office. Of course, to get all of those things happen. That's what we do for this job, moving up and down. We thank God for the grace. Okay, you heard everything she said there. Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan is not backing down. Still calling the Senate President names. And that is why some people say, you too like trouble, this woman. Allow sleeping dogs to lie now. That's why I said, I asked earlier, I'll be asking you on the show this evening, is she also being too stubborn? Or you think Akpabio will be given fire for fire? Some people are saying, she shouldn't be doing all of this. She's back after 6 months, so she should just relax and do her job. Stop calling Akpabio names. Stop looking for Akpabio's trouble again. While others are saying, let her do all of those. Make it pepper them gang. That's what some are saying. Anyway, I'm coming to that very shortly. But let's quickly go to the issue that could be bringing troubles to the land right now. What is that trouble? The trouble is the sale of national assets. The sale of national assets is becoming a big issue because the federal government is looking at the fact that these assets are not yielding any result. They are not giving us anything. We are spending money, wasting money on these assets. And we're not getting anything from it. So let's set them off. Let's set them off so that we can have a better thing we can do with money. But you know what? The people who for labor unions have started to say, no, we will not allow this to happen. We will not allow this to happen. And that is what they are saying. They will not back down on saying that national assets are not sold. And the man who should know better is Festus Osifo. He's saying Nigerians didn't actually benefit from the past sale of national assets. Saying all of this thing about selling of national assets, they just want to sell to their friends. They want to sell to their cronies and they want to spread the money around. So PDP is threatening shutdown, saying they will go down with government. You know, in Yoruba they say, if they carry out their plan to sell national assets to augment a revenue shortfall. Also, the Trade Union Congress said they will join hand and they will make sure the sale of national assets is resisted. They will never allow it to happen. They will go all out and go against it. Festus Osifo is here. He doubles as the Pengassen president and also the president of the TUC. Festus Osifo is telling us the reason why they are opposing.
Ministry of Finance Incorporated and Ministry of Petroleum Incorporated to sell some of the federal government stake in some of the companies today operated by IOCs. If you could recall that recently, Seplat bought the JV stake of ExxonMobil. Then the same thing at Renaissance Africa bought some JV stakes of SPDC, that is Shell Petroleum Development Company. The same breath, Oando Energy and Natural Resources bought some the Nigeria Ajib Oil company stake, in NAOC. So now what the government is planning is that, there's always a marriage, a relationship. When you say JV, JV means joint venture. So the joint venture is usually between an IOC or an indigenous oil and gas company and the federal government. So in most cases, federal government have between 55 to 60% in this joint venture. But federal government is not the operator. Federal government does not manage these assets. These assets are being managed or operated by the operating company. In this case, Seplat, Oando, and Renaissance. They are managing these assets on behalf. So in this process, the NNPC Limited is managing the federation shares of these assets on behalf of the federation. So when we say federation, federation is not federal government. Federation is federal, state, and local government. In nutshell, federation is the entire Nigerians. So these shares of the federation is being managed by NNPC. But NNPC is not the operator. The operator are the international and local oil companies. So that have been the arrangement. So now, the crude oil that you hear every day that we produce are largely produced by the national the local oil company, or what we call the indigenous oil company, and the IOCs. They are actually the one producing largely the crude. But the percentage of government is being administered by NNPC. So what government want to do today, Shehu, is that the 55 to 60% stake of government in these JVs, they want to reduce their stake to between 30 to 35%. So today, as prescribed in law, is MOFI, Ministry of Finance Incorporated, and MOPI, Ministry of Petroleum Incorporated. But if you are doing such thing, you are supposed to go to the board, because today NNPC Limited has a board. So we were excited and we were very happy when PIA was passed, and that NNPC will not be operated like a company. But the way we are seeing it today, that is not the way it's being operated. Let me explain the implication of this to Nigerians. Today, the federal government has 49% stake in NLNG, right? You hear every year the dividends that is being paid by NLNG to the Nigerian government. So what the government is planning to do, this is just an illustration. So what the government is trying to do is that stake in NLNG, instead of getting the dividends every year for the next 10, 20, 30 years, as long as NLNG remains a going concern, it wants to reduce that stake of 49% to maybe somewhere around 25-30%. So that dividend you used to get, which is maybe like 1.2, 1.3, 1.5 billion dollars a year, it will no longer be getting it. Instead, it will now be getting maybe somewhere around $500 million per year. So what this is going to do is that today it may bring instant revenue, but the we are reading in the media who the interested people are, but there is no confirmation. When the PIA was passed, it was said that NNPC Limited is going to go public. So today, government wants to raise money by selling those assets. It's just like you have a company. You are preparing to list this company in the Nigeria Stock Exchange. And as you are preparing to list it, what you ought to be doing is to preserve the assets. But today, you want to strip the assets, then you will not go to Nigeria Stock Exchange. That company becomes relatively valueless. So that is actually the challenge that we are seeing today. If government wants money, Shehu, if government wants to generate revenue, they should sit down with NNPC, come up with a strategy that could list NNPC Limited in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Once you list it, you sell some shares. So you can sell the shares of the entire NNPC Limited, some shares.
Now, the question was put again to Festus Osifo if they are opposing the sale of these assets because their members will be losing their job or because of the law for nation. And this is what he has to say.
Let Nigerians understand what these issues are. Today, remember, Pengasan, Nupeng, we have championed that the refineries, government should divest. We are not, understand that, they should divest. They should use the NLNG model. Remember today, government is not the one running NLNG. It is being run by a consortium of Total Energies, ENI, and Shell. They have 51% stake in NLNG, and they are the one running it. So this, it is just equivalent to government saying that 49% of what I own NLNG I want to sell. Remember, they are not the one running it. So coming down to these assets, it's not NNPC that is running these assets. It's not NNPC that is the operator. The operator of these assets are already private institutions and private companies. Most of these assets before now was run by ExxonMobil, it was run by Shell, and it was run by Nigeria. Before now was run by ExxonMobil, it was run by Shell, and it was run by Nigeria Ajib Oil Company. Just that government has some, the federation has some stake in it. Let me tell you what this means, Shehu. Shehu, you know what this means completely? If we go in this direction, you hear every month what they share in federation accounts, right? And we know the shares that comes into it. You know, when crude oil price is down, we will be shouting as a country that we cannot defend our naira. So those royalties that come to government majorly, those profit oil that comes to government, those taxes that come, they are going to reduce drastically once this is done. So it is, if today, if NNPC manages its asset 100%, and government said I want to divest, it's a different thing. But today, NNPC is not the managers of these assets. They are in joint venture with private institutions already. We already have a PPP arrangement there. And these assets are 100% today managed by those operators. But the shares of government is what they want to sell. And if that happens, it will affect the national revenue. It's going to affect even our foreign exchange earning, because today the oil and gas industry account, as you know, for over 80 to 90% of our foreign exchange earning, and it's our foreign exchange earning that we use in defending the naira. You hear what I've been talking about here? I've not talked about my member majorly. If, for example,
yeah, he's telling us that he's not talking about his members. It's not for the members. It is because of the law for nation. And he said something that if they had allowed the sale many long years ago, let's say like 50, 40 years ago, where would Nigeria have been getting the money? Yes, all of the money they are getting today, where would Nigeria have been getting the money? That's the question he is asking. So he is telling us that, look,
percent control of any company, you are the control of any company, you are the one that manages the company. But coming down to what we are discussing, Shehu, this is relatively different. Today, if government want to generate revenue, Shehu, don't strip these national assets. This is the asset that has been feeding the federation since oil was discovered. This is the asset that has been feeding the federation since we led the era of Granite Pyramid. What we are saying, government want to generate revenue. It's okay. Work in the next 3 months. Go and list NNPC Limited in the stock exchange. You heard at a time when Saudi Aramco listed 5% of their shares in their stock exchange. They generated trillions of USD. So list maybe 20-30% shares of NNPC. If government lists 20-30% shares of NNPC in stock exchange in the next 3 months, they are going to make ×5 of the revenue that they are planning to make today. So the question is this: if you want to move these assets to the stock exchange, why will you baccanize it? By the time you baccanize it and you are not moving to the stock exchange, it becomes valueless. So you have a company. You are planning to list that company in stock exchange in the next 2 months. And today, you have 5 offices. You have sold like 3 of them, right? All the equipment in your offices, you have stripped them naked. You have sold them. When you are going to stock exchange, would anybody buy those shares again? What will be the value of the shares? So see in the stock exchange, they make more money than they are going today.
Yeah, kudos to my man Shehu Okinbaloye there, because I had to get the insight from him. the authority to use that because he actually heard him yesterday. Yes, on his show in Lagos. So that's how you everything that went down. Festus Osifo talking about everything that is making them to back out, to begin to oppose the sale of national assets. You heard everything right there. I mean, he says they might turn this country to an Armageddonic nation, and this is not Armageddon. So we will not allow it to happen. So what will happen now? I'll open up the phone line very shortly as well. But let's have a breather. When I return, we'll continue with the show. This is the Politics of Melody, Melody 100.7 FM.
How can I go on? How can I go on this way? In this Armageddon. One more time I say, how can I go on? Question or answer. How can I go on this way? Why some of them work a little to earn so much? See, you now find 10 Judas out of every 12. But is this not wrong now? How can I go on this way? In the summer, give me on. One more time I say, how can I go on? Total confusion. How can I go on this way? In the summer, give me on. What do I see? What do I see? What do I hear? What do I hear? What do I feel? What do I feel? What do I think? That is over. Oh, oh, oh. I mean, I carry on. Now. But when in this Armageddon.
Yeah. Papa Oris Williki. Papa Oris Williki there. We can't go on this way. It looks like it's Armageddon. Because everything that is happening in Nigeria now, you can't even explain. Sometimes you just ask yourself, why are we living this way? Just as Papa Oris Williki said in that song, some people work so hard, they don't have anything to eat. Why some don't even work, but they are the ones enjoying because they have a way to pack money. It's sounding like Armageddon. We can't go on this way. Shall we continue to go on this way? Every time political gimmicks, politricking, and all of them, what we have. Governance is even left alone now. Nothing like governance. It is politics everywhere. What a nation. What a country. 0702-520-100. I still have so many things to talk about this evening, but time is not a friend anymore. And the line has been beeping. I know some people want to talk. 0702-520-1007 and 0705-507-1007. Should Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan just pipe low and relax and do her job instead of having any further confrontation with our president or with our guy at the Senate? She said Senator Akpabio has been treating her like a housemaid, so she's not going to allow it. She will give it to him back to back, fire for fire now. That's the situation. And for the TUC saying we should not sell all of these assets that are whopping so much money, yet they are not productive. What do you make of these two issues before us this evening? Yeah, before I take the calls, let me quickly one of the things still causing brouhaha in the land right now is the Sowore and Nyesom Wike's issue. You know, first thing first, Sowore called, we talked about that one at the other side, was it 2 weeks ago? Where Sowore said the president was a criminal. He called the president a criminal. And Nyesom Wike was so angry that how can Sowore be calling his principal, his Oga, a criminal? And in a country where things are going on well, so he agreed that things are not going on well too. That Sowore should be in jail by now, answering question why he should be calling the number one man in the country a criminal. This is what Nyesom Wike said concerning what Sowore said.
This is a country where somebody who on social media will say Mr. President is a criminal. Nothing will happen. Nothing. You say all kinds of things you want to say, nothing will happen. No matter how you see people criticize Trump, have you ever seen any American citizen on the social media, on the public, say, look, our president is a criminal? Have you ever heard that? But yeah, anybody can wake up in the morning and abuse president, and we're happy.
Wike also addressed the ongoing
That was what Wike said there. Of course, Wike said that man by now should be answering charges if if we're to be in another country. Okay. Now that meddling into it by Wike is getting, okay, should I say get him into trouble? Because Shorea started exposing Wike, saying Wike bought houses with public funds in Florida in America. And you know what? Shorea has petitioned America. And you know what? America has started acting. But Wike has said he did not buy any house in Florida. In fact, he doesn't have a house in Florida. He doesn't have a house in America. Even though his wife and children are citizens, he doesn't have houses that he bought with his money in America. So Shorea said, okay, you don't, I will prove it. And Shorea started bringing documents out now. Well, when I come next week, we'll be able to talk about that one because time is ticking away and the calls are coming through. Let's take your calls now. 0702-520-1007 and 0705-507-1007. Politics on Melody 100.7 FM. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay. Do try to call me back, okay, please. I think there was a disconnect there. All right, try to call me back. All right, 0702-520-1007 and 0705-507-1007. Natasha Akpotiuduagha, TUC, backing off and saying we will never allow the government to sell our assets. It will not work. Those are the things we are looking at this evening. 0702-520-1007 and 0705-507-1007. Okay. Hello, good evening. Hello, are you there? What was happening to the network? Okay. 0702-520-1007 0705-507-1007. Now, there are other things I actually want to look at this evening. The issue of Abia State. Ezechikam Nayo, yes, giving ultimatum to the governor of Abia State, saying you must prove it that you have spent 54 billion naira to build schools. We must see it. And the governor is saying that you cannot tell me to post anything. I will not post video. I will not post anything. I will not post pictures of the things I've done. And so people are wondering, Haba, why would this man be just show us that you have done it now? But the governor is saying no. Chikam Nayo should come home. He should not stay in Abuja to be telling me I should post pictures of the school I built. He should do the right thing. Come home and see what we have done. That is what is happening. Enough time to talk about this one. Let me put it in next week because of time. Because if I start now, I will not be able to dig deep into it. Hopefully, I should be able to have Ezechikam Nayo in the house next week. Because Ezechikam Nayo is a man. I remember he used to call me troublesome person. You know, each time I interviewed him there when I was in the Southeast, he would say, I like to dig deep too much. Say, you are too troublesome. So, let's see if we'll be able to get him live on the show next week on Politics on Melody, because I want him to even talk live and let us know why is he doing all of this. Is it because the man did not allow you to join his government? Because that's what the government is saying. The governor said because I did not allow him to join, he sent people to me that he wants to be part of my government, and I said no, that is why he's doing all of these things. But I will not bring him to my government. He has worked with so many governments before and he has exploited things. We'll talk to Ezechikam Nayo. Hopefully next week as well. You know why I've not really made it? Not that Ezechikam Nayo is not ready to talk, but I hate to be one-sided. You know, in this job, the way we learnt it very well. You must balance your story. I've been having it difficult to have a time with the man who speaks for the government in the state as well, either the commissioner or the special advisor to the governor. Don't worry, there will be time we will talk. We'll talk finance. Don't worry, we'll talk. And I don't want to just have easy talks without them talking. I want it to be balanced. In fact, I want to put both sides live on the same program the same day. But we'll keep working towards it because 54 billion, no be small money. Because they're coming through, but they are just dropping. You know, I don't know. What we'll do is we'll leave this matter tomorrow. Yes, these two issues that I wanted to talk about, we'll leave them to tomorrow. All right. Thank you so much. Sorry for all of the message. The calls coming through, but dropping. Let me quickly take your messages before I start leaving now. This one says, Finance, good evening, sir. I think I'm tired of this country. Everyday controversy, wahala. Every time, just like Portable says, he said, each time you talk about all of these problems, I just ask myself, where is the solution? And this one from Olamide from Bashorun says, I think Natasha too should just be a woman and relax. She should not be too confrontational because she's a drama queen. Why do people who they vote for in Kogi State always dramatic? They are too dramatic. See, your name is Abosede. But let me tell you, it's not everyone that is from Kogi that is dramatic. We had Smart Adeyemi now. Smart Adeyemi was a calm senator. You never had any issue with him. The drama we've had been with Dino Melaye. You know, no two humans are the same. Some people just like drama, while others like to be calm. Okay, this one says, the finest. I just love the way you put everything in proper perspective. Thank you so much. God bless you. But one thing is, I think the TUC needs to be told that we are not getting anything from all of these so-called assets. They are wasting our money. So is it not better we set them off and use the money to do something else? So your name is Adebayo Adebi from Iwo Road. Thank you. All right, thank you so much. Let me begin to leave. Tomorrow morning, we'll have something else to talk about. And of course, we have time to talk about these two issues. Then my analyst will join me. I will also be opening the phone line to talk about it. Sorry about it. Trying to call and the line is dropping. Yes, my name is Pretty. Big up to Daniel, of course, Marcos, Timothy, Faith, Folakemi, and every other person making things happen at this time. Amos 33. Yes, Oyewole Adetoro. Making sure everything is aware, illuminated, and moving on well. I'll be back in the next 1 hour for the cruise show. So keep it locked out here. Don't move a muscle. Thank you so much. The finance is here, and I'll be back in the next couple of minutes. Thank you so much. Keep it locked. Don't move a muscle. Follow us on all social. Melody 107 FM.